Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar. We will wait a few more minutes to let everyone to join us. Hello again for those of you who has just joined. I will wait a couple of more minutes to let everybody log in. Before we start, I would like to remind everyone that the session will be recorded. We will share the presentation and the recording with all of you after the webinar, so it will be available to watch later. And I will wait half more minute and we will start. So hello again and welcome to our webinar. Today we will speak about the Forrester study that reviewed the DNS security and the cloud landscape. We will talk about the study and also about EfficientIP's solution to the challenges that were raised during the study. My name is Yael Harel. I am EfficientIP Senior Product Marketing Manager, responsible for EfficientIP's cybersecurity products. I have a lot of experience with cybersecurity within the cybersecurity industry, with about 10 years at R&D at Checkpoint, and later in different cybersecurity startups. And today I focus and specialize in DNS security. I have the honor to have with me today Rasha Abdallah, who will co-host this webinar with me. I will let you present yourself.
Hi everyone, so my name is Rasha Abdallah, Customer Solution Architect at EfficientIP. I do speak the language of DDI. I have more than 10 years experience dealing with the DDI DNS security and also to provide cybersecurity solution to different enterprise.
Thank you, Rasha. So as I mentioned, the webinar will cover today several topics. First, we will cover the Forrester study, which is, by the way, available on our website if you want to download and read it. We will go through the key findings and the 3 key chapters of the study: the current state, the challenges, and the opportunities. Then Rasha will talk about EfficientIP's solution and how they can help you address those challenges. And the second half of the webinar will be a deep dive into one of EfficientIP's detection technologies, the DGA detection, in which we will have a live demo of what we do that demonstrate our capabilities. And then we will wrap up with some key insights and takeaways. So the Forrester study that was released a few months ago was conducted in 2025. The Forrester study was commissioned by EfficientIP, and during the study, Forrester has interviewed 218 security leaders, mainly in United States and Europe. You can see the drill down of the different respondents in this slide. And the conclusions of this report were, we had many different insights, but the 3 key conclusions are the following. First is that DNS attacks are taking their toll. They are causing real damage, real loss to organizations. We will see that later. The second thing is that DNS security is becoming a front line of defense, with security leaders repeating the answers around DNS security and its importance. It's an understanding that DNS can help with the complex hybrid cloud environments that we have today. It provides visibility, detection, policy enforcement, and helps you secure your modern infrastructure. And as you will see in the upcoming slides, security strategies must adapt. We need to evolve from traditional models in order to keep up with the new strategies, for example, zero trust, and to apply automation in order to keep up with everything that's evolving. Now we will go through the highlight of the key insights throughout the report. These are really like the top statistics from across the study. So the first and most impressive, I will say, or impressive in not in the positive way, is that 95% of the respondents said that they have experienced a DNS-related incident attack. If you are familiar with EfficientIP, if you read us in the past few years, in our recent study that was done with the IDC, the number was 90%. So we see an increase in the number of DNS attacks, and we still see that the majority, really the majority of organizations have experienced at least one DNS attack, and we will talk later about the damage of those attacks, but it's not just a log in the system. These are real attacks with some impact on the organization. Regarding the cost, so the average cost per DNS attack is $1.1 million US. This number remains the same as we had in the IDC report, which is for us a reconfirmation from a different audience, different research company. We see that these numbers are real and they reflect the real situation in companies. If you're interested in the drill down of damage based on your company size, you have that in the report. We will see that briefly today, but we will not cover that in details. Next, we see that 67% of organizations lack DNS traffic visibility and deep DNS analytics. This is a huge amount given the previous stats that show that DNS is a major risk with a severe impact. So this is another interesting statistic. And when we look at the evolution of security strategies and what security leaders do in order to strengthen their resilience, we will see, not surprisingly, that the top priorities are threat intelligence solutions and cloud migration security, which are, I'm sure that most of you experience that in your day-to-day life. Threat intelligence and cloud security became the core of our security strategies, and we see that also in this study. And we see that 90% of security leaders recognize the importance of DNS security for monitoring suspicious activity, which equals to the number of respondents that said that firewall is important to that, and also DNS traffic analysis. We will see this in details later in the deck. But these are very important insights that this number was even surprising to me. It shows that security leaders understand that DNS has an important role, and you can leverage that for security. When we talk about hybrid cloud security, the report itself has lots of focus on hybrid cloud and in general in modern cloud network, and that's because this is one of the top challenges, top tasks of each security organization. And when we take a look at the key findings around that, one of the interesting findings is that 71% of security leaders admitted that they struggle with the complexity of hybrid cloud, which is new in one hand, but in the other one, we have cloud exist now for several years, and we see that security strategies are not yet completely there, and it's still complex to protect the cloud infrastructures. We see that those environments are outpacing perimeter-based security models, These just can't keep up with the complexity of the cloud, and as it brings new risk, it brings wider attack surface, and as we've seen before, we have more DNS attacks and we have more attacks in general. This study focused on DNS attacks, but you can see in all the different threat reports that were published in 2025, the threat landscape keeps raising, so it makes everything more complex and more challenging. And when it comes to DNS role in this complex environment, we see an increase in the report of the role of DNS, with 91% prioritizing DNS for monitoring and improving cloud security. 85% say that it's important to perform regular DNS audits, specific DNS audits to mitigate risk. 81% are expanding their DNS filtering rules, and we will show later when Rasha will talk about her solutions, we will show what can be done around that and how DNS filtering rules can help you improve your overall security. And 84% are boosting a zero trust architecture, which is another thing that we've seen different reports and studies, and not just in this one. We can move to the next slide, please. So now I will cover the three main chapters of the study. If you want to learn more about each of them, you can read the study. It's not a super long study, so it's pretty easy to read and review the different stats. So the first chapter reviews the current state. All the questions around there were asking security leaders about their current cybersecurity threat. And we see that phishing, ransomware, and DDoS are the top DNS attack vectors. These are, I believe these three are in this order or another, keep being the top threat vectors when we talk about DNS. They had incidents with significant impact, with sensitive data breaches, downtime, financial losses, reputational harm, and legal or regulatory consequences of the DNS attacks. So this is important because when we ask this question, we want to understand if when they say they had a DNS attack, it's just we've seen that there was something in the DNS in our log, and we managed maybe to mitigate it very fast and no impact was done, but this is not the case. Unfortunately, we see that there's real impact and some actions should be taken in order to improve that. As I mentioned before, the DNS average cost of a DNS attack is $1.1 million. You have here a breakdown of the damage. We've seen damage starting from $500K per attack and up to $5 million and even more in large organizations. And as I mentioned, you can also see the drill down based on your company size in the report. Regarding the security priorities, and not yet, Rasha, sorry. Regarding the security priorities, so we see that they are shifting. When we look at the priorities in the upcoming year and in the 24 months, we see that threat intelligence, cloud migration, and cybersecurity culture are the top. But when we look at the forecast of what will be important for organization in 2 years from now, we see that they put more focus on AI-driven security, on IoT and OT security, and on SASE adoption. So these are interesting trends that show that security leaders start thinking about how they will shift the security strategy in the future, even though they haven't completely done that yet. And now we can please move to the next slide. Thank you. The second chapter of the study talks about the security leaders' challenges. The questions around there were asking, Forrester, we're asking them about their struggles and challenges around cybersecurity, and in particular DNS security and cloud migration. And as we can see in the stats, most of the security leaders are struggling with the complexity of modern network. 67% say they lack visibility into DNS traffic and DNS analytics, and 67% The same number says that huge volume of DNS data are very difficult for them to process. So they have the data, they understand that the DNS data has important insights about threats, about risks, about vulnerabilities in the network, but they also admit that they are unable to process it and to have insights from it. And I will not list everything around that, but I will say that 96% of the leaders report major strategy shift in order to address this complexity. And you have a drill down in the report regarding exactly how they shift their strategy. And the last but not least chapter of the study is the questions around opportunities. So the survey that Forrester conducted asked security leaders what are the opportunities they see around hybrid cloud security and DNS security. And for me, as I mentioned at the start, this was the most surprising response, even as a DNS, as someone who specializes in DNS security and as a company that offers DNS security solutions. I wasn't expecting the fact that 90% of the security leaders mentioned DNS security as important for their network, suspicious network activity monitoring. And if you see below the DNS security number, firewalls and log analysis got the same result, and we didn't have enough room on the slide to put it, but we also have 90% for network monitoring solutions. So this shows that security leaders understand that DNS traffic is as important as monitoring the network in the firewall level, which means that it is already understood in the market, in the industry, that these are complementary solutions that coexist together and are both important for security. In another topic that we asked about was the top initiatives to improve cloud infrastructure security. And I will not repeat all these stats because I've mentioned them in the first slide, because they are one of the key insights that we had in the report. But we see here again a very strong emphasis on the fact that the role of DNS security becomes really, really important for security leaders. Now we will move to the next part of the webinar, in which we will explain how EfficientIP can help address all those challenges and insights that we've seen in the report. And I will let Rasha, the speaker for this part.
Thank you so much, Yael. So after seeing what exactly Forrester pinpoint on the challenge, on the risk we are encountering, not having a good DNS security solution, so now I want to show our audience how EfficientIP can help you mitigate against such kind of attacks and risk. So first of all, DNS security, and this is like based on our recommendation and on the Internet Consortium, we need to be your first line of defense. Our solution, any DNS server, should be your first line of defense. We should be your entry point and early checkpoint to all the network traffic. This is how we will gain more real-time visibility. This is where we will get to know who's communicating to who. We will know the timestamp, the IP address communicating to which domain, what kind of behavior they are having, what kind of resource record they are using. So all this information will be processed in our in our data center or DNS-centric intelligence center, where we will give you visibility, and we will give you visibility on the real-time DNS traffic, and where your team can accelerate threat detection, threat hunting, and this is where we will help you to minimize false positive. So how we do it exactly? We are focusing on three main pillars as EfficientIP. So we will tell you exactly how we are proactively can protect you against all those challenges coming from the DNS-based attack, how early we can detect, and how effectively we can respond. So proactively, we can protect you because we have already a built-in DNS security in place. We have our advanced DNS filtering, and our security solution is built or feeded up or leverage up to date with the DNS centric intelligence platform, which is the biggest threat intelligence feed you will have. So after we protect, we will detect, and this is early detection. So EfficientIP will give you like a patented behavioral DNS security, where we will know all the DNS behavioral attacks, so we understand exactly the normal behavioral from the abnormal behavior. We will tell you exactly, is it exfiltration, is it communication to non-bad domain, to phishing domain, DGA, everything in real time. And all these analytics and those statistics will feed our threat intelligence investigation platform, where it is pioneered with AI and machine learning, where we will give you visibility on the threat match. We will tell you exactly that this domain is being blacklisted because of this risk score, and this is what we will see it during our demo. Respond, of course, EfficientIP, we don't only protect and detect, we will reply, we will respond on your behalf. We have effective and advanced and efficient countermeasures to do a rapid threat mitigation. So we don't block. No, we will give you the opportunity. We will quarantine the compromised endpoint and keeping into consideration your business continuity. And this is something very unique for any business looking to prevent the damage, but also they want to keep their day-to-day operation up and running. So this is how we do and how effectively we can respond. And of course, not to forget our ecosystem integration. So after getting all the visibility, after detecting the behavioral, protecting you from the DNS-based attack, we will feed and taking action on your behalf. We will feed your SOC, your security team, with all the information related to the behavioral. So your team, this is where we feed your SIM solution. So your team, your SOC team will go and do threat hunting. They will investigate. They will know what kind of malware recently started in the endpoint. So they will have more insightful information about the behavioral. So how we so to introduce EfficientIP DNS intelligence platform. So first of all, it's a cloud. It's a DNS cloud platform. We went through different stages. So the first part, we collect unique data. So how we collected? So we collected on a very large global scale. We took all the analytics, all the behavioral from the Guardian, all the statistics, and we were able to process, like on a daily basis, more than 145 billion queries per day, and we were able to identify more than 13 billion domain or FQDN. So after collecting all the data, we ingest those analytics and statistics in our AI and machine learning, where we did the analysis, the curated, we processed securely, and we classified during our innovative AI and machine learning. So we will give you more insightful analytics on the domain, on the behavioral itself. And all this information will give you like unmatched visibility, insightful information on the matching, on what's happening inside your network, and you can identify different patterns, different common traffic anomalies coming from inside your organization. So just to go deep into each capability of EfficientIP. So when it comes to protect, as I mentioned before, so we have a built-in DNS security features. It's accurate, it's comprehensive, it's up-to-date data feed. So our solution is feed up with our threat intelligence feed. We have the biggest threat intelligence feed. We will give you visibility on all the newly observed domain, the zero-day domain, the domain which are listed as malicious, as a phishing, as a malware, and this is all in real time. And how we will ingest our threat intelligence feed, we will use two different formats. The RPZ, the response policy zone, but the most important is the client query filtering, the CQF, where you will have more coverage and more feed to be ingested in our DNS security solution. Also, one of the main features that can help the organization to protect against, all the DNS-based attack, it is one of the key features presented by EfficientIP. It's called Advanced Client Query Filtering. it's a CQF, where EfficientIP understand the importance of having control. I know majority of the organization, they are adopting zero trust security, and they are looking to implement micro-segmentation on the DNS traffic. But how you will do it if there are some endpoint where you cannot deploy EDR in it, and you need to allow DNS traffic. And this is where EfficientIP addressed one of the most important use case in DNS security or attack surface, which is the IoT security. So IoT devices, IoT security is becoming part of the attack surface. This is true. And we all know that IoT, you need to allow DNS traffic. However, and you cannot deploy EDR on it. And the threat actors, they understand that IoT, they are becoming part of the attack surface, and they are using it for exfiltration, for DDoS, for different behavior. So EfficientIP, in order to have control on the source as well on the destination, they are providing to our customers features called CQF, where you will have a combination where you will have a control on the source as well on the destination. And this is something unique for EfficientIP. All the DNS security in place, they are focusing only on the DNS destination. So the idea, you will have, for example, your IoT, they are part of certain subnet on certain VLAN. So you will do a combination of source. You will put it as a source. You will identify the domain where they need to communicate, to query their own domain. And you specify and you tag it, and you specify the policy either to allow or to deny the communication. So adopting the zero trust security is feasible by implementing and configuring the CQF. So this is also part of the protect features from EfficientIP. How we detect? We have a key differentiator. We have a patented technology. We have our Guardian. It's one of the main main features of EfficientIP. The Guardian will do deep transaction inspection, and this is very essential for early detection of the attack. So our solution will go deep into the DNS packet. We understand so usually the solution understands the normal behavioral from abnormal behavioral. Our solution, the behavioral analytics, will analyze the DNS traffic based on different parameters. So, for example, the solution will look into different parameters like the recursion time, like if the request, if it is malformed request, the response return code, is this endpoint getting too many return like NX domain as a reply or not? So all these parameters, our solution will go deep into it and understand the client behavioral, and by default, he will feed all those information from analytics, from statistics to our threat intelligence investigation platform, where you will have more visibility, more insightful information about the pattern, about the domain we detected, the threat or the threat matching our threat intelligence feed, and this is where you can have more information about what's happening inside your organization. And of course, the threat investigation platform is pioneered with AI and with machine learning, where we will have fast responding and understanding of the behavior. Respond is the last key capability we have. So as I mentioned before, we detect, we protect, and also we will take action on your behalf. We have our own patented adaptive countermeasures. They are efficient as our name. So we don't only block, we have the block option, so you can specify the policy to block, but blocking is not a smart decision, especially if you are looking for business continuity and you care about your day-to-day operation. That's why EfficientIP, they came with the idea to have quarantine and rescue mode. These are two patented for EfficientIP. So the idea of quarantine is to, if you have an endpoint which is compromised and the malware is trying to exfiltrate your data, your sensitive data, at the same time you are trying to access certain legitimate domain. If the policy is set to quarantine, then what we will do as EfficientIP, because we care about your operation, so for the legitimate DNS request, we will reply from the cache. For the suspicious one, we will stop the recursive and we will prevent the damage. So this is something very also unique from EfficientIP. So this kind of accelerated incident response, it will help your team we will help your SOC team to mitigate all the DNS attacks. We will prevent the damage. We will prevent the data from going outside your organization, and we will make sure that the service is up and running. Also, part of our response is the integration out of the box with majority of your security ecosystem. So after replying on your behalf, quarantining the compromised endpoint, after taking all the action, we have out-of-the-box integration with different SIEM solutions. So we will feed those SIEM solutions with all the analytics that help your team to take action, to understand what's happening on the endpoint. So we will give them visibility on the timestamp, the recursive, the DNS security who received this request, the compromised endpoint, the domain they are trying to communicate, the type of the resource record, the kind of behavioral, is it exfiltration, is it DGA attack, is it NX domain? So all this will feed your SIEM solution, so your team will have good understanding and they can do proper threat hunting and investigation on the endpoint or network level side. So just to summarize everything, our DNS security is called 300-degree DNS security because we will protect you against all the DNS-based attacks through their life cycle. So we will start by from the early implementation of our DNS security, from the firmware itself, it's hardened. So the name of the firmware, it's called Solid Server. So the firmware itself is hardened. We always make sure that we are following best practice. The firmware itself, it has the ability to mitigate against volumetric DNS requests because we have a feature called response rate limiting, so we can absorb any volumetric DNS request. The Solid Server, the firmware, it's a fully integrated product, so it has all the engine from engine to DHCPD engine, all the engine are embedded under one single firmware. Even in case of zero-day vulnerabilities on the firmware itself, EfficientIP will give you a unique feature called hybrid DNS engine, and this is something only unique for EfficientIP, where the hybrid DNS engine will give you a solution in case of zero-day vulnerabilities on the bind itself. You can consider it like a car with the dual engine. So you have the battery engine and you have the normal engine. In case of any issues with the battery, you still can use your own car and you can switch to use the other engine. So this is the same concept. If we have any zero-day vulnerabilities on the bind itself, in one simple click, you can switch to use the other engine and we will keep your DNS up and running without any flaws, any zero-day vulnerabilities on it. Also, part of our 360-degree, you have the Threat Pulse. Threat Pulse is our threat intelligence feed. This is the biggest threat intelligence feed. You will have coverage on all the feed, more than 10 million different feeds. We will monitor all the zero-day domain, newly observed domain, the phishing, the malware, the DGA domain, and we will give you those intelligence, and those feed will be ingested in our DNS security. The Intelligence Center, it will help your security team to have insightful information about the threat match. We will give you more information about the distribution of your NX domain compared to no error. We will give you information about why this domain is being blocked, who's using the IOC, all the information, the risk score of those detected domain, and of course the Guardian, which is responsible for the behavioral and where you can, it will take respond and adaptive countermeasures on your behalf. So back to you, Yael.
So thank you very much for this interesting presentation. I will now cover briefly in the slide, because Rasha will show you, demonstrated that in a demo, about one of our most advanced technologies, which is the DGA detection. So first, what is a DGA? So a DGA is domain-generated algorithm, meaning it's algorithms that are generating multiple, a high volume of domains for the attacker infrastructure purposes. By doing so, they bypass blockage by traditional security solutions because they change the domain all the time, so it's impossible to use traditional, for example, URL blacklisting for that matter. What they do is they're generating the domains for future usage. So as you see in the example here, you have multiple domains with multiple names. Most of them will not be used during the attack, but the attacker does know which domains will be generated because there are rules for that. So the malware will try to access the different domains until they find one that is valid and they can communicate with. The role of DGA in a cyber threat. So as you can see in this diagram, attackers use DGAs for the malware command and control, communication, and for data exfiltration. You see that it's bidirectional. You can see that in one direction, the DGAs, the domains, are used to send information to the command and control. And on the other side, the attacker will send commands through the DGAs back to the infected devices through the malware installed on it. So what's special about what EfficientIP does for detecting DGAs? Sorry, I forgot this slide. I will get back to it. No, it's okay. I just skipped to the next slide. So before I will talk about EfficientIP's DGA solution, okay, I will talk about it now. So EfficientIP, what's unique about EfficientIP's solution is that we leverage AI and machine learning to detect those DGAs. So unlike traditional DGA detections, which are looking mainly on the syntax of the URL in order to look, for example, for a pattern of a DGA, which is good as a basic solution, but the problem with it is that attackers are following up on these methods, and it's very easy for them to evade that and create names that are undetectable by those solutions. So what EfficientIP does, which is another patented solution, like the ones that Rasha has mentioned before, is that we focus on the clients and their DNS behavior and not on the domain itself. And when you focus on the client and the behavior, you are more likely to be able to detect things that the attacker, that will be very hard for the attacker to evade. I will explain why. Let's imagine that we have a network and one of the clients were infected. It has a malware installed, and this malware tries to communicate with the command and control using the DGA domains. In order for the attack to expand and succeed, the attacker, the next step they will do, they will infect additional devices. At a certain point, you will have multiple clients in the organizations communicating with multiple domains in this list of automatically generated domains. And if we will apply machine learning and specifically tuple clustering model, you will get the image that you see on the screen, which looks like it's a graphic design, but it's not. It's a real representation of the model that generates clusters of clients with suspicious behavior. And if you will see, if you look at the diagram, almost all clusters has a name. It means that we managed to link them to a specific malware. For example, in the slide that I accidentally skipped, you have Configure, which is one of the most popular DGAs. Most popular, I say popular, but most impactful DGA. It infected millions of devices around the world with a huge impact. So we can say that this group of clients in gray is linked to the Configure malware because we already have lots of intelligence about it. Same from the one marked in red, the my bot-like domain, which is a very strong indication that we know that this is for sure a cluster of domains which is more interesting cluster is the one at the bottom, the green one, which is unknown. Why is it interesting? Because it shows that we can identify not only known malwares and known domains and non-suspicious activity. We can, by identifying the behavior of the clients and grouping multiple clients that communicate with the same patterns of domains, we can predict that a malware will start using a group of DGA. And indeed, for this group in green, 6 months later, we were able to associate that to a malware, and the confidence became the highest, and we could block it. The benefit for our customers means that you get very good coverage for both non-malwares, even though the domains keep changing, we will cover them, and for unknown malwares or unknown DGAs, you will get a suspicious indication, and you will be able to monitor and decide what to do. For example, as Rasha mentioned, you can decide to quarantine all those clients, inspect them, check if there is a real malware there or not, and decide what to do next. We can go now to the previous slide and not to the next slide because I skipped it by accident. This is just for some context about the role of DGAs in the cybersecurity industry. Here I took a few examples from the MITRE ATT&CK matrix. You can see that some of the most famous or infamous malware involve DGA in their operation, meaning that in order to operate and to successfully communicate and to successfully steal data from users and from organizations, in many cases they will use DGA in different ways. You can see in the description that each malware used the DGA for different purposes, but the bottom line is that it was very important in their success from the attacker point of view. Now we will move to the demo, and Rasha will do the demo.
Okay, so here we will show you after collecting. So we will go through our threat intelligence platform, and all this information are being collected from the analytics, from the statistics we have on the DNS Security from the Guardian itself. We will explain to you how EfficientIP, our threat intelligence, will be able to detect the DGA attack in real time. So it will be a threat matching from the DNS traffic we collected from inside your organization. So first, you can track the DGA in real time. So you can do filter based on not only DGA, like phishing, the malware, the newly observed domain, but in our case, we will do filter on the DGA itself. So we selected all the related keywords related to DGA. Then we will apply a timestamp. So we need to have more analytics, more visibility for the last 90 days. So you can go from 3 hours to more than 6 months to have the visibility. So here we were able to detect different DGA attack, and so one of them was detected by our patented chocolate DGA, and it was tagged as DGA from EfficientIP. So it is using our patented clustering chocolate engine. So if you click on the domain itself, we will give you like the threat investigation. We will give you the risk score of this domain. So it is ranked as a high risky domain. We will, and this is how we flagged our domain. We will give you more information about the communication. So here you can see that it is confirmed that someone is trying to communicate or query this malicious domain from inside your organization. And if you go deep also on the threat investigation, so EfficientIP will give you the indicator of a compromise. So it's a single IOC, which was early detected by our EfficientIP patented chocolate clustering. And if you go deep, you will have also visibility on all the IP used for this particular malware or DGA, because this is how the DGA attack is working. So he will try to trick our security solution by having different domains, subdomain, and using different IP address. So we will tell you exactly that the same domain is using different IP address, and this is part of the technique and tactic for evasion and tricking the security solution. And also, we will give you information and visibility on all the IP address used. So you will have more insightful visibility on different domain using the same IP address. So here, as you can see, the same IP address are shared between different domain and suspicious domain. So even if you click on one of those domains, like for example, paranoid, this another suspicious domain is using the same IP which we detected as DGA attack. So if you want to investigate this particular domain, it will go through the threat investigation, where you will see that also EfficientIP flagged this domain as a high risk. You will be able to see here all the communication happening, successful query coming from inside your organization, the threat match also matching the DGA attack. And here you will see all those domain. The same domain is using different IP address, which is part of their technique and tactic coming from the threat actors. So we'll give you history about all the IP address, different IP address used for the same domain, and you can see the same IP address is used for this paranoid domain and the previous one which we detected as DGA attack. So this is how we can detect and tell you that after collecting all the analytics, we can do a threat matching, and it's confirmed that it is a DGA attack. And if you want to do filtering based on to do filter based on our engine using the chocolate DGA domain, so you can do this, and we will tell you exactly that these are detected by our EfficientIP threat intelligence, and we will reveal different domain, and you can see they have different common pattern, and this is part of the threat actors strategy. So here you can see there is a common, clear pattern. So all those domains, they will start with the MV prefix, and they are followed with some random number. So it's incremented just to, this is how the DGA attack malware is creating different subdomain. The other, after that, you will have some random access file character detected, and this is also in order to trick the security solutions not to be able to classify those domains. But with EfficientIP, we were able to classify as DGA attack, and they are all subdomain from the same site as top level domain. So so this is how we can detect the DGA attack, and also not only you can rely on our source, but also you can rely on different source. And here, for example, we showed you that the same domain was being detected by different multiple source, for example, the phishing source. And here you can confirm that this domain is being flagged not only by EfficientIP, but also by phishing, a scam domain, which are another source. And those are being also flagged list as a high-risk domain. You will be able to see the indicator of compromise. So we have more than one. One is coming from EfficientIP a feed tag, and the other is coming from a third-party source. And here also, we will tell you exactly that the same IP is being used by different domains. So not only, and this is how the threat actors will generate different DGA attacks. So they will have a couple of public IP. They will use it for different domain, for subdomain. but with EfficientIP, we were able to detect all the behavioral. And also not to forget that DNS traffic is very crucial for securing our organization. So the threat actors, you need to understand they are behind our data. They want to steal our data. This is where the value is. So they will use the DNS traffic not only to generate some DGA attack, but they will use it for exfiltration, for if they want exfiltration in case they are behind your data, they want to steal your data, and the easiest way is to build the malware to be able to do some exfiltration. They will use the DNS traffic to generate some volumetric DNS requests, maybe to harm, to damage your reputation by bringing down your DNS, which will affect your business reputation. So it's good to focus on the DNS security part, which is essential, as Forrester mentioned in the previous slides. So I will go back to the slide.
So thank you, Rasha. So the demonstration that we've seen illustrated what I've shown before in the slide. So the chocolate DGA is basically a cluster, if it would be visualized on the slide. So it's a cluster of domains that we manage to identify based on global traffic and to correlate it into a malware with the name. The name EfficientIP means that it's a unique DGA detected by EfficientIP. We have many examples. This was one example of such a DGA group that was detected. In some, you will have only a single indicator of compromise. As we've seen in others, you will have multiple sources. But for DGAs, in most cases, it will be a unique detection based on whatever we see in the traffic, which dynamically changes all the time. To summarize, before I will go through the last two slides, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. We will answer them, Rasha and I. So you can do that while I talk about the last two slides. So if we will wrap up everything we said today about DNS security customer benefits. So as we've seen, both in the Forrester study and in the solution that we've shown you, is the DNS provides a faster and deeper threat detection. Since the DNS is located at an early stage and we have rich data in the DNS traffic, you can get an early detection of things that might be missed by other solutions. We can provide a more effective threat response for similar reasons, since we have patented adaptive countermeasures combined with the fact that we sit at the earliest point of the network. You will get an automatic response at the best level that you can get. It elevates your security posture. I think this is pretty much given from everything else. It enhances service continuity due to all the different features that Rasha has mentioned before, from DDoS attack protection and back to quarantine and everything around that. We will make sure that when possible, even under attack, your DNS will keep running. It increases your operational efficiency because we provide, at most points, you will have everything automated for you. We will integrate with your ecosystem in order not to rely on log analysis, but on actual actions that we take in real time. Of course, it's up to you to decide whether to activate it or not, but this is our recommendation. And of course, it improves risk management and compliance, which is again a bit given when we talk about everything else. These are the requirements for risk management and compliance. I will now take a quick look at the questions just to see. So there's a question regarding the role of DNSSEC. So DNSSEC is a protocol that ensures that the DNS traffic is secured, but it cannot prevent all the different attacks that we've seen. For that, you need some advanced protection, because this is just the level of security of the protocol itself, and it cannot prevent all the different evasive attacks that we've shown during the session. So we do have in the Solid server, of course, we do support DNSSEC. This is at the core of the infrastructure, but this is for us, it's really like the basic, the infrastructure, and above that, we need all the advanced protections. Now we will go to the last slide. I don't see additional questions for now. There is a question that actually I will answer now about whether it's possible to have a free trial of the product or something around that. I will answer that in the last bullet. So regarding the key takeaways, so the first one, from our point of view, we really and truly believe that integrating DNS security into the ecosystem will help you improve your security level in hybrid cloud environments and general in network environments due to all the benefits that we've mentioned before. We encourage you to leverage DNS security to enhance your visibility, your detection, and your policy enforcement. And the use of DNS threat intelligence for proactive protection and defense. We all use threat intelligence, but DNS threat intelligence is different. It provides insight that you will not find in the generic or perimeter-based threat intelligence solutions. And this is something that we strongly recommend to add to your security ecosystem. And the last point partially answered the question that I've mentioned. One of the things that EfficientIP offers for our customers and prospects is a free DNS risk assessment test. It's like it's a tool. It's a cloud-based tool that you can use by scanning the QR code or accessing our website. You can upload part of your DNS traffic, which is something you do offline. You choose what to record and how, and you share this data with us. And after a certain short amount of time, you will get a live system, which it's not the real product. You will not get access to the full setup of the product, but you will get access to a dedicated live report infrastructure in which you will see all the detections of the engines of our product in a dedicated URL for you. It helps us demonstrate our capabilities from our side, but it also, the main purpose is to help you identify the risks in your network. It will show you, for example, if you have DGAs in your network, malware, anything that is not blocked today by your current systems. And then you can decide after that how to proceed with EfficientIP. If you're an EfficientIP customer and you want to upgrade and to have the DNS security, it's a very simple process from that aspect. And if you're a prospect new to EfficientIP, we can move from that to a POC. I'm just checking to see if we don't have any further questions. I see that not. If you have additional questions that come up after the webinar, feel free to reach out to us, send us an email. We will do our best to answer as quickly as possible. You can reach out also directly to Rasha or to me through our LinkedIn. You have that in the deck that we will share, or through email, and we will be happy to discuss and explain more about our solutions or about DNS security in general. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.